We're going to be talking about Brandon Aiyuk a little bit. I just said his name. I'm going to try not to say his name very much because that's my rule. But the wide receiver who shall remain nameless is back in the 49ers facility, back in the news. And it seems like he might be getting an extension rather soon. I'm not sure which side caved, the wide receiver side or the 49ers side. But it looks like they're going to get something done. Now, last year, the 49ers absolutely caved with Nick Bosa. They made this whole big song and dance about the negotiation and dragged it out, drug it out. Well, I don't know what the right past participle is, but they took a long time to get it done. And then when they finally got it done 4 days before the season started, they made all of Nick Bosa's dreams come true. They gave him the entire chocolate factory and the great glass elevator, which can go any direction, left, right, horizontal, diagonal. That belongs to Nick Bosa now. All the Oompa Loompas as well. That's what the Niners gave him. So did the Niners cave? It's not done yet. But if you saw Brandon Aiyuk in the little video, he seemed like he was in a good mood. So best guess as to what he's going to sign for. Jesse Naylor put out a tweet making a very good educated guess. He says $28 million per year on average with about $45 to $50 million guaranteed, I believe, if I remember correctly. I like that guess. If that's exactly what it ends up being, and I have no reason to think that it's not, because Jesse's really good at guessing, as you see weekly when we make our sleeper picks. Our sleeper picks are really good. As you can see, $28 million a year would be a concession from Brandon Aiyuk. That's a little bit less than he probably thinks he's worth. On the other hand, $45 to $50 million guaranteed would be a concession from the 49ers. Because that's a lot more than Amon-Ra St. Brown got guaranteed. That's closer to what A.J. Brown got. And A.J. Brown has been an elite wide receiver since he got in the league for about 4-5 straight years. And Aiyuk has ascended into an elite receiver recently. So if he's going to it'd be interesting if that's how the negotiation went down. The 49ers saying, look, Brandon, we know you're worth $30, $31, $32 million a year on the market, but we can't afford that. We have to give Brock Purdy this crazy extension next year, and we just don't have the money. So, first of all, sorry. Second of all, we can offer you a lot. If you could just accept $28 million a year, that would work in our salary structure, and it would set your family up for generations, and it's not a slap in the face. And I could see if I were Aiyuk's agent countering by saying, okay, $28 million per year, that's less than we're worth. So what are you going to do for us? What concession are you going to make for us? My client makes all kinds of concessions. You ask him to block, he blocks. You ask him to not complain, he doesn't complain about the 3 targets he gets in the playoff game. He'll make a concession. He'll go to $28 million a year. He's not greedy, but you guys have to act in good faith and make a concession too. So if he's taking a little less money than he's worth, then he needs to get a little bit more guaranteed money than you would normally give out. What do you say? Maybe that's what Brandon Aiyuk said to the Niners a couple of days ago. Look, I understand that you need me to fit into the salary cap structure in the future, and I want to be a team player. I want to take care of you, and I want to play with Brock Purdy, but you got to take care of me too. And if I'm going to be making $28 million a year, then a lot of that has to be guaranteed. Jesse said 4 years, $28 million. That's 4 times 25 is 100. 4 times 3 is 12. So it's 112. Is that the right math? 112 with about half of it guaranteed. Not even half. That'd be fair. Now, if that's what the Niners end up giving Aiyuk and that's what he ends up agreeing to, Jesse's guess, is that a good deal? $28 million a year for Brandon Aiyuk? I mean, in one sense, in a year or two, that's going to look like a bargain because the cap keeps going up, wide receivers' salaries keep going up. But they keep coming back to the point that the Niners were making, it seemed, in negotiations. Like, we just don't pass enough to make this worth our while. People like to say the Niners have a balanced offense. They really don't. It's all about Christian McCaffrey throwing him the ball, handing him the ball. $28 million a year for Aiyuk. I mean, yeah, the team doesn't get better by trading him, but in a few years when his cap number is like 35 million, because it'll be backloaded, how's that going to work? Anyway, it seems like this could be an interesting compromise. And it seems like any trade involving Brandon Aiyuk would really negatively impact the 49ers Super Bowl chances. So this seems like it would be good news, but it hasn't happened yet. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Is Brandon Aiyuk going to agree to $28 million a year and just get this over with? You know, it's funny. He has expressed all kind of emotion on social media about this. He even said he took it personal. Nick Bosa expressed no emotion, didn't say anything on social media, let his agent do his job. Bosa got all the money he wanted. Aiyuk might cave in June. Is this Aiyuk caving? I don't know. But I think when players start complaining on social media, that's not the strongest stance. Is that an indicator that they're about to break? Maybe from the Niners' perspective, when Aiyuk goes on social media and starts doing that stuff, they're like, we got him. We got him. He can't take too much more of this. Another week, he's going to agree to 28. I know it. I'd love to know what you guys think. Wyatt Himmelman says, do you think Kyle is too arrogant to ask for help during clutch moments? It seems that he is afraid to try anything different from quote unquote his system that may actually surprise their opponents and get Super Bowl number 6. Okay, that's two different statements. Let's go one at a time. Do you think Kyle is too arrogant to ask for help during clutch moments? Yes. I think that's well established. I think his teammates would agree. I think he would agree. He's going to trust himself, even though his record in these clutch moments isn't great. Second statement, it seems that he is afraid to try anything different from his system that may actually surprise their opponents and get Super Bowl number 6. I see it differently. I feel like Kyle's issue is when he has the lead in the second half of the Super Bowl, he goes away from his system and his philosophy. His system and his philosophy is under center, motion, outside zone, play action. Run first, play action second, drop back pass third. Condensed formations, fullback on the field. When he's up in Super Bowls, all of a sudden we see uncharacteristic stuff from him, especially in the last one. Third quarter starts, they're up 7, ton of passes. Empty formation, 5 wide, no motion, no play action, straight drop back. With an offensive line that isn't built to pass protect. It's like, what are you doing? If you could just stick to being Kyle Shanahan the whole season, the Niners would have a chance. But at the very end of the race, at the very end of the climb, he turns into someone else. All of a sudden, he is Kyle Banana Hands. Because you have to admit, his motion, his shifts, his system, his philosophy, his opening scripts, all top notch. Now, he's a little too rigid with what he does, but if he could just maintain that for like 4 quarters all season, Niners might have won a Super Bowl by now. But he gets uncharacteristically, he loses himself. It's like, I don't know whether he wants to trick the defense. I mean, remember the final play of the season, 3rd and 4 from the Chiefs 9 in overtime. This is where you think, well, the season's on the line. You're going to call a concept that the Niners have executed many times with success, that something they're confident in. I mean, don't give it away, dress it up, disguise it with a new formation or a shift or a motion that makes it look different or new. But it's a concept that is your bread and butter, like flanker drive for Bill Walsh when he had Jerry Rice, something that you could feel very confident in. He goes 5 wide with Christian McCaffrey in jet sweep motion in a play action to him with Jake Brendel pulling, pretending to block for a run play. What? That's not you. That's something else. Why don't you just do something that we've seen from you before as opposed to that? Jermaine Pickett has been a member for 33 months. That's a very long time. That's like 10 years, give or take. I think it's roughly 10 years. And which is crazy because I haven't even had a YouTube channel that long. So thank you, Jermaine Pickett, for being the original YouTube member on my channel.